Welcome in to the Bro 4 Squad podcast, where it's time to put on your Sunday shoes, and this is the closest we could ever get to a church without burning up. I'm Jeff, he's Matt, here for another world-famous movie commentary on the 80s classic Footloose. And while you guys get your movie synced up with us, we currently have it paused at the 7-second mark with Paramount, a Gulf Western company. Logo is up on the screen. While we do that, Matt, this story, I don't even want to say loosely resembles your life. This is your life. In fact, I think John Lithgow is actually your father-in-law. Is that correct?
It is based on a true story and is pretty much based upon my life. I wish this town would have outlawed a lot of other things, like cuddling after sex or some other shit that I'm just kind of not into. But it outlawed music and dancing and rock music and stuff. So this is basically a loose interpretation of my life whenever I was around 17 to 18. I'll tell you what's real and what's not, but I am extremely excited to do this. And as you know, a Bro 4 Squad movie commentary with an 80s movie is always fucking money.
Yeah, I do have to say the one part that doesn't quite match up from you to this movie is I don't think you can shake those hips in a pair of denim jeans like Kevin Bacon, just being honest.
No, and when I get pissed, I don't dance. I usually drink.
Punch a wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie could have been a lot shorter if he just fucking beat up an 8th grader.
It's true.
Oh, okay. Well, no music.
Roll credits.
All right, we are going to press play. God, without banner, we fucking fall apart. In 3, 2, 1, dance.
Are you already drunk? Because, that's fine.
Getting there. Good old foot tap and start to the movie.
So 80s.
I love when people are like, hey, do they have a pair of jeans that won't go over the front of my cowboy boots? Like, no, it's fine. We'll just get out some scissors and fucking cut
just yeah. Jason in heels, I wouldn't recommend that. So big thing here,
are those
man.
Bowling shoes?
I think, yeah, size 9.
How could you tell?
You gonna give those back? No, man. I kind of like myself in them.
I paid $14 for an hour of bowling. I'm fucking keeping the shoes.
So we'll get into fun facts, but just a fun fact here. Whenever the fucking song's on Footloose,
right.
But Kenny Loggins was on fucking fire. So he wrote Footloose. He wrote Highway to the Danger Zone, and he wrote I'm All Right, which is the theme of Caddyshack. How was his 80s?
I'd say if I had to ask for how many units of pussy he got, where would you rank it? All and then started repeating on women? Probably the latter. I actually have a fun fact about the song Footloose that I got. So this is the first Horns fun fact.
Funner than my Kenny Loggins fact?
It's actually directly...
that.
It's directly tied into that, which true story, as you know, we do no pre-pod prep whatsoever. So Kevin Bacon, one thing I do love about this isn't really tied into my fact, but he, like a lot of actors, when they have a cult movie like this from the beginning of their career, they kind of shy away from it. He loves this movie. He's all about it. He's not embarrassed by it. He's shown up on talk shows and come out to the song and everything. But he actually said in a 2013 interview with Howard Stern, this is according to IMDb, he admitted that he's actually tipped DJs at weddings not to play Footloose. He stated, people expect him to dance to the song as he did in the movie. In truth, while he did do some of the dancing, there was also a lot of dancing done by a double for him. Can you imagine being Kevin Bacon going to a wedding motherfuck if they play Footloose? I swear to God.
I've actually read he had a couple dance doubles. Don't ask me to say that 8 times because I'm drunk as shit. Oh, hey, Jeff. Since this movie, once again, Bro 4 Squad custom, where does this movie take place? It takes place in Oklahoma. There are a lot of mountains in Oklahoma, Jeff?
Tons.
Why in the 80s did they basically okay, this is just going to take place in Southern California, but let's just pretend it's Oklahoma? It makes no fucking sense.
People have their tractor parked on the street. That's how you know that guy was shit-faced last night and he drove that home from the bar. John Lithgow as a preacher is something that both works in the 80s and also right now. I would be equally as intrigued to go watch.
It seemed like in the 80s and early 90s he was really a serious actor, and now he just basically does comedies, and I can have him either way. One of my favorite comedies he's in is Orange County, where he plays his dad.
I will
He's
eat
not in it
your
very much.
face. Sweaty
Look at
preacher in the
Bacon. He's
church.
like,
Kevin.
God.
Oh, pornography. When you talk about porn in church, people are just like, dude, that reminds me. I actually have this Asian girl threesome bookmarked when I get home. So can we wrap up the homily, Father?
I love that. It's awesome when the dads are like, yep, he's speaking the truth. The moms are like, God, I just wish we could have like crazy sex just fucking once like we did back in the day.
I didn't know there was like a girls' gossip section in the church. I thought you had to sit with your fucking family. What is this? Is this lunch?
you, you know what just would be a cool scientific experiment if you just told kids like, yeah, man, just go do drugs and have, unprotected sex and rock out. You think then they would go to church? Because they basically rebel about anything parents say.
Right. Between the ages of like 12 to 19. You can tell the chicks there that have like their dresses, blouses tightened so tight that they're like can't breathe.
So I'm actually married to a preacher's daughter, so I'm going to try to keep this in character as much as I can without blurring the lines of who I really am. But a lot of this stuff, this movie, I love watching because it really hits home. Because, of course, if you ever listen to this podcast, you can see that I really, me and Rin could probably have a beer and talk a lot. I mean, we're into the same music. We like our hair all over the fucking place, and we just like to, bang weird chicks in a small town.
What else is his mom in?
Oh my god.
She's a mom in something else. Fuck.
She's a mom in like 4 other movies.
Is she the mom in Snow Day?
You even bringing up that, I know Chevy Chase is in that movie. I can't even believe you brought up that movie.
And Emmanuel Shariki. And your boy Drake Bell.
Drake Bell's in that? He's my boy, but...
Hi. If this were a Power Ranger...
just fucking moots here. I don't give a fuck about anything, though. Oh, cool. You want to have sex later? I mean,
notice how my tie is loosened up? Cultural norms would dictate this be tightened all the way to the top.
She was in Edward Scissorhands. She was in Parenthood with Steve Martin. She was in The Birdcage. That's where she was the mom. She was the mom in The Birdcage to the daughter getting married. Because,
holy shit, I forgot Sarah Jessica Parker is in this. Sorry to cut you off.
That's fine. It's one of her first movies, actually.
It's gotta be. Oh my god.
Are you ready to say who was up for Ariel?
Yeah, do you have it? Because I have it.
There was a couple.
The list I have is insane. I was
Daryl Hannah,
Michelle Pfeiffer. Let's just go back and forth here. I have Julia Louis-Dreyfus also.
I have Madonna.
Yep, Madonna read for it. Heather Locklear, how did she not get it? I mean, my God.
She's too busy getting syphilis from Tommy Lee.
And you know one on here that she's probably listening to this from fucking prison, but I would have really liked was Lori Loughlin from Full House.
Oh my God, yeah. She's fine.
Yeah, she read for the part too.
Daryl Hannah was probably too busy getting beaten up by Jackson Browne at this time. Like, I can't.
If I'm the guy in the truck, I'm like, are you going to flash me? Because I might die. Yeah, great. You tossed me your purse. Do you have tits under that shirt?
I love how that elk horn or the fucking deer horn on his truck is probably like the 3rd biggest deer he shot that week, too. Because living in Oklahoma, that's fucking insane.
That's the
Oklahoma being from a small town.
What is that shot? Are you kidding me?
Being from a small town in the Midwest, Jeff, this is what we do because we don't have like Dave and Buster's. We don't have all that cool shit. So we just do a lot of drugs and go to the cornfield and try to just kill ourselves. It's fun to us.
You know what else might have worked here? Just both pulling over. But I guess when your life sucks dick, risking it all isn't really that big of a gamble, is it?
It's like, I hate my dad. I've never been more free.
The deer antlers is the Midwestern equivalent of truck nuts. And that doesn't really make sense because the Midwestern equivalent of truck nuts is truck nuts.
Is it weird that every actress we named I thought would be better in this role than her? Not that she did a bad job, just every actress we named is like more popular.
Yeah. What if she just died opening scene? It's like, holy shit, this movie took a dark turn. And now we're like, please don't tell me Sarah Jessica Parker is the main female. By the way, check if you want to see us go through the conundrum that I know everyone at home has gone through for probably a 15-year stretch between 84 and 99 of whether Sarah Jessica Parker is actually hot. Go check out our Hocus Pocus movie commentary.
I defend her. I did come to her honor a lot. So this is definitely a small town. You just moved to town. The preacher's going to come. It's like, I hope to see you at church every week. I'm like, wow, you're kind of pressuring me a little, and you can let go of my arm.
Like, that's your sales pitch? A tight handshake and threatening me with hell? The guy who doesn't give a fuck, he's like, if you do that, you'll go to hell. Well, I hope they have beer. It's like, God damn it, that was a really nice retort.
Dude, I always loved as a kid so much talking about, it's like, yeah, man, it's a new Slim Shady album, and having like really religious people turn their nose at me. I'm like, well, it's a great piece of music, so fuck you, old man.
Co-produced by the devil, by the way. The popped collar too, like, the slow turn. Kevin Bacon just got it, man. I mean,
it's like Church Lady at Saturday Night Live. Was that produced by Satan?
I don't want to be that.
If you've never heard of Church Lady, it's worth a.
Yeah. Adam Sandler. I hate to be that guy, but this spread looks like absolute shit.
Sunday supper is a huge thing. If you're like a church goer, but you're listening, I think if you're listening right now, you're probably with your hands on your cheek, like, oh, tell me more. I don't know anything about this. But Sunday supper is like a big fucking deal, especially if you have the preacher over. That's like having Santa Claus over to us, Jeff.
Dude, the fucking drive-in diner in a small town on a Friday night, that was the place to be.
It's the only place to be. And then you drive around for 10 minutes like, hey, let's go find something else to do. And you're like, oh, yeah, we're in shithole USA. Let's just drive back to the drive-in diner.
What's the line? And I'm about to tie this into already my last fun fact because I only had 4 and you already took one of them. But how great is the line in Tommy Boy when Rob Lowe's like, so what is there to do in this town? He's like, oh, tons of stuff. Throw stuff off a bridge. He's like already out of ideas.
Wait, is there anything to do in this town besides eat? That's the only place you've been taking him.
All right, so do you want to hear about the role of Wren? There was quite a bit of controversy. Someone else was originally cast, then another person was about to get offered the part, and then it went to Kevin Bacon.
I'd love to hear this.
So let's put ourselves in the context of this movie. Was this 84 or 87?
84, great year.
Okay, so the movie Risky Business had just come out, right?
Yep.
So Tom Cruise and Rob Lowe were both finalists to play the lead. Tom Cruise was officially cast after directors were impressed because of his famous underwear dance scene in Risky Business. After one producer vetoed Cruise's casting, Lowe auditioned 3 times and had dancing ability and the, quote, neutral teen, end quote, look that the director Herbert Ross wanted. But he strained his knees shortly before filming, and the injury prevented him from taking the part. After watching the movie Diner, Herbert Ross had to convince the producers to go with Kevin Bacon, and the rest is history. So Rob Lowe, I mean, Rob Lowe still had a fine career, but...
Love Rob Lowe.
How many great players do we see lose their job because of injury, you know?
I mean, that's definitely a Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady comparison. They're both good quarterbacks.
They are.
They just are. Just right place, right time.
Exactly.
Jeff, I love this scene because I want everyone... I know we're watching a movie here, but just to close your eyes for a second, just imagine the times that you had sex in high school and maybe college. Now, take out music. There's no way, because most of the time you're grinding with the chick and dancing her. There's no way. Music gets people laid all the time.
I'm actually still a virgin, Matt.
No. Well, you need to get your dick wet. That's kind of pathetic. Rachel
also
never had sex with you? You were married for like 3 years.
She just said that she felt rushed. I don't know, something about me not listening or something. I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. The thing about it, though, I think there was another guy. If you ever are the person who stops the music...
Unless you just like stop it and then you like play Beastie Boys or something. And you're
That's
like,
true.
kick it.
By the way,
Like, oh, he's got it.
just looking at John Lithgow's outfit is making me hot.
You know what's insane is this is I've only had 2 beers, Jeff, and the reason why is because I didn't want to get too political or religious on this fucking thing because that's not what we're about at all. But don't you love like the older, really religious person that's like, dude, there had to have been a time. So this came out in the 80s. There had to have been a time back when Lithgow was a teen that he was listening to Elvis and greasing his hair and just trying to get his head under a poodle skirt, if you know what I mean, to just see how the beaver tasted.
Sure.
But he forgot all about
those
that.
days. Those days feel like a distant memory. Once Prohibition ended, he changed. It's like, how fucking old do you think he is?
After the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, it's like, what? The war's over. We beat the Redcoats. What?
So I thought he'd have a little cooler car, but I guess this is true to his story because he doesn't come from a very well-off family. I don't think anyone does when you're in Ardmore, Oklahoma, wherever the fuck they are.
He's like the guy who is so fucking cool that the jock with like a fucking Porsche is like, I don't know, maybe my car sucks dick. Hey, you don't mess with a dude with a fucking plaid shirt on. You're supposed to stay on the right side. This isn't fucking Europe, okay? All right.
These kids have been up. It's 7:45. School's about to start. They've been up for 8 hours doing chores and shoveling hog shit too. They don't have time for your little bullshit not knowing how to walk in the halls.
Dude, isn't this how it always works at the bar though? You like fucking beef with the guy and then you're like, you know what? Honestly, you know what, bro? We both got hot headed. I'm buying you a fucking beer. I'm gonna buy you a beer. That outfit would be a lot hotter if she didn't have that undershirt on.
Or her pants.
Well, yeah, I mean, now that doesn't seem like a realistic outfit. That's too far off the other end.
I like his move, though. He's like, I'm going to go to class today. I'm going to try to get a B+ in history, and I'm going to hit on the skankiest fucking girl in school.
Can I say something about...
That was my thing, except for getting a B+ in history. I barely fucking skidded by.
His outfit doesn't really make sense. So he's at public school, right? So the tie isn't really required. So wearing it, ironically, where it's like undone, isn't really like a fuck you to the man because he's already trying to dress nicer than is required. You get what I'm saying?
But Jeff, he's from Chicago. This is 1984. If you wanted to get pussy back then, you wore a tie that was unloosened down to your chest. That was basically like today showering to get laid. It's just what you did.
I'll tell you this, Matt. This probably didn't happen to you. You never like moved into a school, right? You pretty much were born and grew up the same place you went to school.
Yeah, I mean, I switched schools obviously for high school, middle school, but no, it was always in the same school system with basically my same friends.
Okay, because I moved 3 times because I grew up in Seattle, but because my mom taught at a different elementary school than my middle school, like I didn't get to go to middle school with my friends. And I will say this, first day at a school where you don't know anyone, who you're going to sit with at lunch is a big, like you fucking
it's crucial.
You lose sleep over it. So bumping into this douchebag in the hallway at the beginning of the day was quite the blessing.
It's basically like, when Daniel Jones or Baker Mayfield got their first shot, like, you got to set the tone for your whole career. This is your whole high school fucking career, man. This dictates whether you get laid or you're fucking hanging out on the weekends, you're at home listening to your fucking stereo and masturbating.
This guy, like, doesn't really know what sex is, but he's like, no, describe it to me in vivid detail and leave nothing out.
So use this Danish I have and this 3-day-old hot dog from the cafeteria and explain to me exactly what it is.
And how it goes in and where it goes in. Just, even though I know, I wanted to make sure that you know. What is this guy in? His face kind of looks familiar, but...
Remember sex stories in high school where it's like, yeah, man, I fucking rocked her world. And then you get married, you're like, man, I used to be really good back in high school, but actually you were never good. You just had better stories.
You lasted 11 seconds, and she told all her friends it was the worst moment of her life. Dude, what kind of fucking high school cafeteria has food like that? What was it, like a whole turkey leg?
This this is another problem I have with high school movies is sometimes they'll have like a fucking, Luby's buffet up there. In high school, you had two options. You want to go the left line or you want the right line. You want fucking meatloaf or you want a chef salad. Pick one and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. My high school, we had off-campus lunch, so I really ate there. But all I remember them having was like those fucking square pizzas, and I was like, "Is this elementary school? What are we doing?"
God, those were so good though. I
I know
thought
they
for
were
some
they
reason.
were good, but it was like they were beneath me at that point. So did he just get upgraded to the fucking cool person table that quick?
Yeah, they're like, hey man, I think this guy had sex or at least told a cool story about it. Like, oh well, upgrade him 2 tables then.
Maybe plaid shirt is like the what's the fuck? He's like the fluffer, right? His job's to go out and find new kids that have had sex, and he's like, "All right, we got one." He brings him over to the table.
Yeah.
He said he even flirted with the back door, so I don't know. I mean, maybe he's the fucking new head of the table. Would they have 8-track or cassette at this time?
Oh, cassette, definitely. 84.
Dude, a cassette player in a car right now just sounds so badass. He's like, hang on, let me fucking fast forward it to the song that I like.
See, he just said, he's like, oh yeah, man, I got like Quiet Riot. He's like, oh, music stuff. They're like, oh, get out of here. And today, if they remade this today, which I know they have, but say it's today, you're like, oh, I got the new Luke Bryant tape. He's like, oh, that's illegal here. What? No music? No, he just fucking sucks. That's why we don't play it.
Yeah, we only allow good music in the county. Hey,
The
could the
sheriff is
cops
like pulled you over. Like, I thought I heard a fucking song that sucked, so I pulled you over. Also, you
was
got a tail
that
light out.
was that B side of the police? No, officer, I must have just come on the radio. Also, the cop car is like in the middle of the road, so they're really
Yeah,
not.
like, this is extremely dangerous.
And let me just say this, there's no drugs, rape, or murder in a town where they're outlawing music. Like that's first world problems. Need to refill my beverage. Hold down the fort.
God, this is such a great scene. Anytime you're the rebellious character, but then you can have cops in front of you, it's fucking way better. I was about to make a joke about maybe the cop later will bust into his apartment and shoot him, but I think that was too soon. So now they're, of course, having dinner, and the townspeople are telling them that basically music is illegal, and so is dancing. You still go down on a chick, but no one does that in 84, so. Why this scene's happening, I will look up. John Lithgow has been in so many fucking movies that I have totally forgotten about, but he's a phenomenal actor. He's great in this. He's great in the new fucking Will Ferrell one, the Step things with Mark Wahlberg or whatever. He's in Orange County. He was in Shrek. Oh, Harry and the Hendersons. He was the dad in that. Daddy's Home 2 is the movie I was thinking of. He's in the new movie Bombshell that comes out, I think, in a couple months. In Interstellar, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, he's in The Accountant. He's in This Is 40.
He's in Interstellar. I know he's good
He's
in
in The
this.
Campaign. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, he's him and Dan Aykroyd are like the rich guys, right?
Yeah. He's in Confessions of a Shopaholic. I've never seen it, but
That's
it
a
has
Lindsay Lohan movie.
no, it has Isla Fisher in it, so I would watch it, I guess.
Okay, never mind. Every time a preacher's like, I still have a lot of work to do. It's like, well, won't God speak to you or some shit? Can't you just... Not this part, no.
It's like,
Oh.
sorry, I have to do a sermon this weekend about paying attention to your daughter, so I don't really have time for your fucking bullshit right now. So
Oh,
I
that
can
makes
at least go out
total
and play.
sense.
So
Did he lose a set of antlers?
the scene just passed, but his vest game, it's not an Indiana Jones. It's okay for a preacher dad, I guess.
If Banner were on here, he would be really putting you to the. He acts like you fucking invented the vest, or right
I
like a
know he
vest.
always asks me, and like it's weird every time we go out. He doesn't wear a shirt and has a vest on, and he's just like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "It looks fine." I'm like, "But you don't sound like it looks fine." Which is about a 3 hour ordeal.
This guy, as far as a bully, does not have the best insults.
So I don't even think he goes to that school. I think he's like 32 and works at a tire shop.
Matt, so just because he graduates, you think he's not supposed to come around and bully the high school students? I don't
Oh,
understand.
so you're above okay, so you're above a trade school. Okay, yeah, mister. Sorry, my parents didn't have money to put me in a fancy 4 year university to
My dad wasn't
study
on the board
art.
of trustees. Keyword was, did he touch the Filipino exchange student? Did he not? I don't know, Brooke. I wasn't there. Is this guy a fucking train conductor? What are we wearing?
He's working at a feed store, dog.
Well, I'll tell you what, before this interview even starts, I am not a racist. What? I'm not even talking to you about that. Okay. I just wanted to get that out off the top.
You know, I
Stop
was
my
part of the Knights for a while, the White Knights, but I couldn't pay the fees last month, so it
I
wasn't
just
really
want to
my
say something unrelated to this, but I feel like it is misconstrued. The South was fighting for states' rights. I mean, we understand that, right?
slavery
Uh,
was just a small freckle on the
it
ass of
was
what we're fighting
one
for.
piece of the
They
puzzle.
get sick and tired of your fucking schools putting that seed in you because they ain't fucking true.
Because it was one piece of the puzzle. Anyway, move the flower in the back.
This is a guy too. If you ask him, like, "Hey man, so I, God damn it, I don't think they've told the story yet." So basically, spoiler alert: the reason why dancing and music is not allowed is because Ariel's older brother went to a rock concert and there was no drinking or anything involved. I don't think it was just they were
Yeah, because then they
listening
would
to
have banned alcohol, which would have made sense.
yeah, because they would have banned alcohol. I believe they say this. We'll see in a scene or two. But they died on the way home in a car wreck. So they outlawed dancing and music because basically, like, oh, it makes your body just feel more free and think you could drive a car
Well, yeah, I
more
mean,
easily.
obviously, if they wouldn't have been gyrating at the concert, then they would have lived on the ride home.
What I would love though is like a sequel to this where like, one of the townspeople's like, yeah, you can't have fucking dancing and music because the kids can't take it. He's like, well, what about the kid that came and shot up the school? Should we outlaw guns? Well, now you're stepping over a fucking line, okay? Because the guns didn't kill. Kid did. We'll just outlaw that kid.
Wrong
That
kid,
kid.
Dad. You know, it's an 80s movie too, and like the cool fucking kid does gymnastics. Look, don't get me wrong. Gymnasts and people that do gymnastics are some of the best athletes in the world. But nowadays, this kid would be shoved in a fucking locker and left there over the weekend if they found out that he was a gymnast.
So, and you're telling me that in a small ass town in Oklahoma where they probably had to get rid of fucking baseball, it's either baseball or track, that they have a gymnastics team? Like, this isn't UCLA. Like, come on.
This is clearly post fuck right now at this picnic. You know, when Ren saw those red cowboy boots, he's like, all right, here's the move. I fuck her while she's still asleep. I get up a little early. I take the boots and leave. Because those are unisex. I don't care what anyone says. With the Navajo Native American stitching on the side, are you kidding me? She thinks she can pull those off?
God, she is just. If you ever meet a chick that wears red boots and you're like, oh, nice red boots, like, my dad hates them. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to get fucked that night if you just play it. You don't even have to be the MVP of the game. You're basically Trent Dilfer on the Ravens. Just don't make a mistake. Your defense is going to
Yeah.
carry you to a Super Bowl.
You don't even have
Just
to
hand it
start.
off. Don't throw interceptions in the red zone. Just at least get 3, maybe 6.
Like, I know I didn't start, but I got it on special teams. Yeah, no, we can still fuck. Okay, perfect. Is he trying to buy this tractor? Like, what the fuck's happening here?
So
Kind of.
basically, the kid challenged him to a tractor, fucking basically a game of chicken. And this is the thing. Once again, you see the beautiful. Was that a hill in Oklahoma with snow on top of it?
That is 4 times the height of any piece of elevation I've ever. I lived in Oklahoma for 17 years. Never seen anything like that.
Flattered fuck. Like, it makes no goddamn sense.
It's flatter than my ex-wife.
She had a big heart though. So anyway, this is actually loosely based on a true story, but the people in this town said this is the only fiction part of it, simply because our parents would kill us if we did this, because these tractors are worth 3 cars, maybe 4. They're around 100K.
Listen to yourself, Matt. God, you sound just like them. It's not all about money, dude.
Yeah.
What's the sweater
Well,
budget
for
for
me,
this
it's a little
movie?
bit about money, Brendan, and I made that much money last year.
So, you want to punch me in the face. The thing I love in movies like this, so people wear sweaters just all the time when
Yeah.
it's really not appropriate. And then they'll either cut the sleeves off or roll up the sweater. Hey, look, if it's too fucking hot to wear a sweater, don't wear a fucking sweater. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Also, this chick.
he doesn't know where he's going to drive this fucking John Deere, Jeff. He might drive it up to that mountain hill up there with snow on top of it in fucking Oklahoma.
Also, can I be callous for a second? Ariel, bless her heart, no ass at all. No one
No.
in the 80s had an ass, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like our hormones in our milk, but curvy girls just weren't a thing in the 80s.
Kevin Bacon has by far the best ass in this movie.
I mean, I'm not even going to say a bad word to you about that.
I mean,
No,
that's
I
like
totally
saying
agree.
that's like saying Jordan had the best mid-range jumper in the
Yeah.
90s. It's like, what are we even fucking talking about? One thing that I always love in movies, Kevin Bacon's doing it right now. When someone is driving a car or something perfectly straight, don't they move the steering wheel way too much? Like, look at him.
Actually, with the tractor, there's no power steering, so this is actually accurate. But I understand what you're saying in a car, yes, but there's no power steering in a tractor. So if you barely turn it to the right, like if you really twist it to the right, it just barely turns to the right.
This kind of reminds me of that scene in the first Austin Powers where he's like really slowly driving the car at the guy, telling him to move, and he won't. He's like, "Get out the way!"
No.
Ah, he's just yelling. Larger Than Life is the Backstreet Boys playing. God, imagine if they somehow found their way on this album retroactively.
This would be scary if you've never been on a tractor before. But if you're the other guy, which will happen here in a second, he's like, dude, I don't know if this guy's fucking nuts or he just really doesn't know how to stop this thing. But this
So
is great.
how fast did you estimate we're going here? Like 20?
No, golf cart's going faster than this. I bet. If you have a golf cart, Florida's gonna go faster than this.
It's just the weight of the thing. Man, the way the cinematographer shot this.
Yeah. Director's like, now I want you to get Kevin's shoe here, okay? A couple times. Audience might be fucking stupid.
So if you're the guy who just jumped, wow, that was a fucking hat toss, dude. Did you see that?
I
Was
want
that
to save myself, not this $1,000 fucking machine.
It's not even a John Deere, so it's basically worthless.
He's like, yay, I'm accepted now in school.
The current in that retention ditch is like stronger than the fucking rapids.
Where's this shot? Utah? Colorado, maybe?
I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm getting like a Colorado or Wyoming vibe. How many gas station scenes are in this movie? Jesus Christ.
Well, the town has 12 gas stations, a McDonald's, and a church, and a Walmart.
And of course, the diner, as we all know.
So if you don't want to get your groceries at Walmart, you can starve. If you don't want to go to church, you can fucking go to hell. That's your choices.
Dude, Coke is all over this movie. Good for them.
I guess they got a diner. That's technically the McDonald's.
Dude, this Sarah Jessica Parker, like, I don't know if she tried to, like, buy a new nose, but she's not that bad looking at all in this.
I think she had some work done, which made her nose look bigger.
Yeah. Can I say something that hopefully isn't controversial, but people who do this where they buy French fries and then drizzle the ketchup over the top, you are scum of the fucking earth. If you want ketchup, you dip the fry in it. I mean, what is that?
And Jeff, I know you were in Oklahoma for a while, but I was from a really small town in Missouri. And let me just warn all the male and maybe even female listeners right now, if we have any. Whenever you're from a small town, you're going to be dating a girl in high school that is pretty. She's pretty. But you got to watch out, because if she's someone that like smokes and just eats fast food all the time, like they will go downhill in a hurry. Because in a small town, they don't care about tanning. They don't care about makeup. They don't care about moisturizing, because it's just not a thing. Fucking see Stephen Avery's parents. That's what it's like in a small town. So you got to be careful.
Is this guy offering him drugs?
Yeah, man. Sorry, Jeff. You never experimented? Fuck out of here.
What are you, square? It's weird, like the things that would set people off in the 80s. Like Back to the Future, you call Marty McFly chicken, it's basically worse than stabbing his mother in front of him.
I love how he's just putting a joint in his pocket, and now I got guys every time I'm trying to get in my car, be like, hey man, I got a CBD stop down the thing, just come by it. Mr. McCormick, is that drugs? Give it to me.
What's the irony that his teacher also looks like someone that shouldn't be allowed within 300 yards of a school?
That was miscommunication on every part of that.
Look, and not only that, like there was some exaggerating in the police report. We don't need to get into that again.
I'm watching you, Mr. McCormick. He's like,
but they always have their.
This town, it's not like Chicago at all. Teachers would give me drugs there.
What is it about kids that like they sit so fucking close to the TV? Like, dude, you can back up 5 feet. It's not like no one's gonna like turn off the TV if you back away.
This is so high school though, because everyone was against me in high school. Fucking everyone, man. No one understood me.
It's okay, yeah. Thank God you had your music and Nirvana.
Yeah.
Nice belt. When did you win the Intercontinental title, Mom?
Oh, the 40-man battle royal that was last week.
So, is there anyone in this town above the age of 35 that still has their hairline?
I don't think so. And I don't think there's anyone of age 24 to 38. I think you're either in high school or you're 44. That's the guideline.
The only guy like kind of in
between. Get out or go into a house for a while or what, but there's no like 24-year-old that's like, yeah, I just got out of college. I'm selling insurance in the town. That's just not here.
There's no middle ground. It's like a whole generation was just forgotten. I do kind of like his car, though. This is sort of one of the iconic scenes, right? This is where he just dances by himself.
Yeah, because when you're pissed off, some kids like box or work out. No, dude, you're going to go to an abandoned warehouse and do gymnastics and fucking dance.
I probably do that twice a week if we're being conservative. And the only reason you light the cigarette is so you can angrily throw it.
I gotta tell you, man, I've only had like 2 cigarettes my entire fucking life, but they look in movies, they make it look cool to smoke.
Definitely worth cancer, like for the coolness. You better smash this beer bottle. I can't remember what he does with it. Oh, yeah! Fuck you, planet Earth. You think I give a shit?
Jeff, you actually did this, right? Whenever I tricked you into trading Kamara to me for your fantasy team?
Yeah, I tried to cancel the trade, but apparently that's not a thing. And I missed the playoffs by a game, so I drove under an abandoned bridge and did this. He's been scoping this place out for a while. He's like, dude, if I ever get really fucking mad and just need to gyrate, this is the spot I'm coming to.
Dude, I'll tell you, like, for the rest of my life, now that you said that, every time I'm going to go to a place, I don't even care if it's like my mother-in-law's house. I'm like, if I ever get pissed, I'm going to come here and just fucking dance my ass off.
This is oddly erotic and unrelated, but it also looks like the place in the Power Rangers movie. Check out our movie commentary where they first fight Ivan Ooze's villains when they show up on Earth.
Sure it is. That was shot in California, and with all fucking with all the clues we have right now, I think this was too.
I love how you can just get into all this machinery. It's like, yeah, swing from some shit. Who cares?
That's what his boss told him. He's like, hey, man, I'm a pretty fucking laid-back boss. If you got to come in late because you got a doctor's appointment, go ahead. It's your grandma's birthday. If you want to fucking come here, let off some stings, swing from some shit and dance, you can do that too. What was that last part? Grandma's birthday. If you had, go.
Well, the next day, one of these construction workers showed up. He's like, who the fuck untied all these ropes? I was here till 5:45 doing this yesterday.
I actually stayed late just to make my morning better.
God damn it. Now I got to spend probably till lunch doing this.
So this is I guess a kind of a fun fact. I don't have this in front of me. I don't even know if this is true, but I'm guessing this is where he used as stunt double.
Yeah, most likely. Dude, I'll say this. When I'm really pissed, I dismount 10 times better from the high bar.
What if Kevin Bacon like calls it like, no, actually I can do that. I just can't do the Dougie. Like, oh really? It's pretty
Yeah,
easy.
it was the bending of my knees that was a serious problem. I have some past ligament damage. I had a coach that trained me too hard.
Old football injury. Yeah, it's some sport
Something like
like that.
that. Dude, who were we talking to? I think you were there. This is one of our friends in real life. No, it was Popeye Jones. He was talking to us one time and he was like, "Yeah, I had an old football injury." And one of his friends called him out. He's like, "Dude, you hurt that fucking throwing the football while we were tailgating." Like, yeah, that's what I said. It was a football injury. They were like in a parking lot somewhere and he like threw a football and blew out his shoulder.
This
I
is
think
the classic thing too. If a girl's ever mean to you, she wants your D.
Do you want to kiss me someday? Well, that just locked up this pussy, so it's over. She got hotter between now and the last scene.
She's pretty. I just every actress you name though, I I just like them. Like I think Madonna would have done an awesome job, especially in '84. Daryl
Dude,
Hannah.
agreed. For some reason, I can't get over Lori Loughlin though in this role.
Lori Loughlin. I think they wanted to go for more of the wild child preacher's daughter. She'd be more like kind of like my wife or something. Like like she's like nice and sweet, but she would have to have a wild side somehow.
Your
Madonna
wife's
would probably
standing
just.
right over, isn't she? That's why he said that.
Do you imagine if a black dude moved to this town? Good God.
Well, I'd stop right there. He wouldn't move to this town. We're all out of houses. What? Fuck does that even mean?
Well, do you have like contractors? Can I build one? Nope, fresh out of those too.
I just rent an apartment. Listen, Tyrone, I don't know another way to say this, but I'm not a racist. And the South was fighting for states' rights, but do not live here.
Playing Rick James or whatever. I don't know what would be played in his car in '84. Probably Purple Rain. I don't know if that's came out yet. I think Michael Jackson Off the Wall might have came out then.
This girl is to the point now. She's like, I honestly can't even get horny unless we're fucking in an abandoned crane. Like that's
It's
the
weird,
only.
man. She has a boyfriend. Like, what the fuck?
They're not that serious. I mean, plus he just lost a chicken race in a tractor. So like, are they even together?
This is where it's awesome. The skanky chick, but she's like, I also do poetry too, and you gotta pretend like you're into that for 20 fucking minutes.
Oh, really? Haikus. It's great. It's really good.
Wow, this
No,
one, yeah, I read it. Kind of seems like it's about life or death or darker. Yeah. It's something that's no one's ever done before. Talk about dark or light or life or death.
That's exactly what it's about, but it's also not about that at all, right? Because that makes total sense. I'd love to read some more.
I think every human has two pieces of them, an angel and a devil, It's like, wow, I've never heard that before. That's awesome.
I'd love to read some more. It's just that one was so powerful that it almost, kind of like drained me a little bit. I think it's what you're going for, though, so it's definitely a win.
We should have sex first, then maybe give me another one. I'll just read that one.
Because I'm feeling so connected to you right now that I'm worried that another one might just push me over the top, you know what I'm saying? This conversation, I don't know, she's being overly aggressive right now to where like the preacher's daughter thing isn't really hitting the way she wants it to.
Actually, man, being from a small town, this is actually kind of spot on. Chicks are fucking nuts. They have nothing else to do.
Also, it's a train yard. That makes much more sense.
Yeah. And she wants to step in front of the train and scream, like, are you going to save me? Or are you going to let it kill me? I'm like, well, it depends. Are you pregnant?
And how far along are you? Because, dude, if I'm the guy driving the train is like, Jesus Christ, Tammy, not again.
God, like, she does this every
Ariel,
week.
it's the third time this week. It's only Thursday. Get the fuck off the tracks.
The conductor, though, is like, I think it's a different guy, though, this time, which is weird.
Oh, a white guy this time. That's good. He's like, wait, what? No, don't worry. The other one was Hispanic. No, that's a problem. That's a serious problem. Why is that? No reason. So we should play a drinking game. Every time Ren gets a new sweater, you take a drink. So what are we owed, like 3 right now?
I only have like a 30 pack in my fridge.
Ah, fuck, never mind that.
I can go get more though.
We're gonna need a keg if we're gonna play this.
It's almost like I don't. The Old Navy was definitely not a thing in '84, but it's almost, you know, when you went to Old Navy and once you walked in, your mom's like, "Ooh, they have sweaters on sale. Every one is like $3," and she just bought one of every color. That's basically what happened to her.
I love how she comes home and acts like she didn't want to get caught.
It's late. Like, yeah, what are you doing up? He's like, I was reading the Bible. What are you doing here? It's like, oh, I was too, just in a guy's car.
Why are you sweating? Why are you sweating so much? I was in the book of Leviticus. All right, that checks out.
Okay, well, yeah.
Why in the 80s? Like in the 80s, the shirts you wore. Like, look at John Lithgow's shirt. Does he have an interview at TD Ameritrade, or is he going to bed? What is it? Because it could be either with that outfit on. All right, time for bed. Better button up this Ralph Lauren polo. What? That doesn't sound.
I love how it's like, you don't need to see Rin anymore. Why? Because he likes Zeppelin. Yeah, and I'm a Rush fan. You know.
I get it. They're derivative, but he fucks. So he thinks Zeppelin can shred on guitar? Is that what he told you tonight at the train tracks?
He said just because they're Canadian, they don't rock as hard as fucking Jimmy Page. Well, he's fucking wrong. That's not, does he know who Neil Peart is? Get down here.
I don't know, Dad. I'm just trying to get dick down. I don't really know. Dude, remember car washes where you had to do the fucking work, but then still pay them?
Yeah.
That's a fucking business model. And you can't even steal the brushes because they just fucking chain them up. Look at that. We should start one of those. I have $20 in my pocket. I could go buy all the shit right now. All we have
to do is build it, then just make sure the machines work.
Well, I remember when people would flip other people off. Now it's like what Visco girls do in their Instagram.
It's like, I gotta wash my car. I might get late. He's like, actually, I know the chick you're with. I mean, you could pull up in a cardboard box and you'll probably at least get a blowjob. Well, I'm already mid-soaked, so I might as well rinse.
You could pull up in one of those little Tykes cars where you actually have to move it with your feet, and she would still probably give it up.
Oh,
I thought at first that he had bullet holes on the side of this thing, but now we realize it was just fucking like dirt spots. Also, it's kind of self-defeating. The guy keeps putting soap on like before or after he's like sprayed it there.
The only thing wrong about small towns is when people say, well, they have sex a lot because there's nothing else to do. That's not fucking true. You could be from the city. You could have basically a wristband, a tattooed wristband that gets you on every ride at Six Flags anytime you fucking want. You'd still rather have sex than ride the fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, people who say that, and fortunately they're not people I typically associate myself with. Oh, who brought in Dr. J? I didn't know he lived in the neighborhood. But those people like, oh, they have sex because they're bored. Okay, so the only time you have sex is when you're bored? Well, then I'm bored a lot. Not because I have sex, I just want to.
Such a great afro, Jeff. Such a great afro.
Dude, you know you are holding court when you sit on a table like this and you're talking to people.
Absolutely. It's like we're in the beautiful state of Oklahoma with our mountains and our willow trees.
Notice as I sit on this table, I'm ignoring the 11 vacant chairs in the room. I do that because it's a signal of power. Oh, yes. Grandma with the eyeglasses that tint automatically in the sun.
What happened to those? Jeff, I love our commentaries because it'll last forever because the internet's not going anywhere. So I just want to say this. If I'm ever like any of these old people, just fucking kill me. There's no, just fucking kill me. I'm not saying how, they look or they're old. I'm just saying if I ever think this way, how basically I had my fun, but now that my dick doesn't work, that I don't like people having sex and listening to vulgar music, just fucking kill me. Like, seriously.
All right. How could I honestly have a belief.
You're restrained a little bit more, but okay. Well,
I don't know. You had a compelling argument. It was tough to, go against. Dude, did you ever have a two-door car? They were a fucking bitch to get people in the back seat of.
Yeah, I had a Firebird.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was a two-door.
And they did suck. The back seat was not I don't know if you consider it a back seat. I mean, you couldn't really fit.
Right. You could throw like a gym bag back there, but fit in a fucking. So where's this? This has got to be out of the city limits, right? There's no
Yeah,
fucking
so
way.
they're probably in like Tulsa, a happening town.
Ah, yes, Tulsa.
See
Very
the
happening.
Vegas
I've
lights.
heard.
This is what'd be great is at the bottom you like see the strip of Las Vegas, and at the bottom in white letters it says Tulsa. I'm like, okay, like really? I
All
mean,
right, now you're insulting my intelligence.
got us with the mountains, but this is
Dude, is it a requirement to get in this club? The guy's like, whoa, whoa, why do you only have 3 shirts on? Well, I have another one in my car, then I would go get it.
well, the guys have to have fake ID, and the women have to have mascara on that makes them look like a 2-cent whore. So they checked all the boxes. They're good. They can get in.
So you know how nowadays, like, they don't let you in a place. Some places are weird if you have like a fucking hat on. This place, they'd be like, all right, you need to have one of two things. You need to have a plaid shirt, or it needs to be tucked in. And if you want VIP, then you need to check both those boxes.
So Sean Penn's brother actually cannot dance. He's said a couple times.
Oh, that's
Chris
Sean
Penn.
Penn's brother? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's Chris Penn, man, who's like really chubby, and he's in Beethoven.
So is this the equivalent? Oh my God, that's right. That is the same guy.
Yeah.
He really is Sean Penn, but not 0 calorie. He's like extra gluten.
He's actually Sean Penn's brother, but yeah, he's basically the non-trans fat. Like all of the trans fat is in that Sean Penn's brother.
Sean Penn with high fructose corn syrup.
Yes.
Sarah Jessica Parker doesn't even know how to fucking chair dance, which is like it basically does itself, you know?
It's just like a fun little place.
Dude, is there
Somewhere
anything
that
more
Trump rally would probably be held.
nothing's more awkward than when you're grinding with a chick you met 2 songs ago and then they go to a slow dance. You're like, fuck, I really want to bang this chick, but do I want to slow dance with her?
You're like,
Because we're gonna
"Fuck you,
have
DJ."
to talk. Yeah, DJ, dude, bro, come the fuck on. Like, read the room.
This boner went from the center of my pants to sending fucking text messages on the left side of my fucking jeans, and now you're playing a fucking slow dance?
So now I gotta talk to her. So you're gonna make me talk to her. Yeah, you're gonna make me have a conversation. Hey, oh my God, what a song, right? This could be like our song. It could. That
Yeah,
in a world, maybe, maybe.
this song reminds me of me. Okay.
Hey, look, I have to go pee, but I can only do it at home, so I'm just gonna fucking head out. Well, nice brooding. Chris Penn, is that actually his name? Because that's like a fake name that I would give him.
Yeah, Sean Penn's brother, Chris Penn. It's been in a lot of movies.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
See, this is what I don't get. If you go to a honky tonk like this, everyone's two-stepping, but they're actually. So back in the day, man, I think people just danced a little more. Our generation, we just grind. Like we can't even really two-step.
It's not even
Unless you're-
dancing. It's just like, let me carve up my dick on the dance floor.
Yeah, basically the woman does all the dancing. You're just kind of behind her, holding her hands and stuff, and she's just shaking your ass against your dick. Pretty much is all it is. I'm not complaining. Listen, don't get me wrong. I don't want to change because I don't want to learn how to dance or anything. But
Sometimes, something just comes out in me on my own, and the music really takes control. It's almost like I'm possessed by a higher power.
I love this movie though because in every fucking movie they'll have a dance scene and everyone basically looks like Vanilla Ice, but this movie actually has someone that like literally cannot dance and he has to learn.
So we have all ends of the spectrum. We have Kevin Bacon, Ren, who honestly dances probably too good, right?
Yeah.
Like it's caused problems in his life, let's be honest. And then we have this guy who's like, if his parole officer knew what he was doing right now.
What'll get you laid faster? Being quarterback of a football team, being in a band, or being a phenomenal dancer?
Damn. I would probably just say on the surface dancer because the band, sometimes it might suck. The band, I don't know. But it's definitely, I'd say some of the latter two. You could talk me into band though.
I mean, I can't do any of them, so I'd take any of it. But it depends on the setting, I guess. But man, if you could go to club and you're just there by yourself and you can start dancing, I bet every chick would just attract you. Or chicks are weird though because they always say, "I wish I had a guy that could dance," and then once you dance better than her, it's like, "Well, I don't want to feel like I fucking have to dance."
Is being able to dance ironically a skill?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I feel like I could dance ironically.
I feel bad for Willard, man. He got punched in the face over a girl that I don't even think he's dating and is not going to put out. So what really happened tonight? Okay, this is the scene here, Jeff, where she tells a story about her brother dying because they're on their way back from a rock concert.
Can I say something I don't like in movies in general? She just did it.
Sure.
Guy just fucking moved to the town. The infamous Crosby Bridge accident. Bitch, I don't even know the streets here, and you're talking
Yeah,
to me.
I don't. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you haven't heard? I've lived here for 11 minutes.
I want to say I don't know who Crosby is, but I really don't want to even hear that story because I don't give a fuck. So.
Well, how many times in your life is someone like, have you seen so-and-so? And you're like, oh, yeah. Just because you don't want to hear them fucking talk about it.
There's so many times. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know who that is.
I would do that about the Crosby Bridge accident. Oh, the Crosby, that was bad, right?
That was insane. That changed everything.
That was like, I always say life has two chapters, right? Before Crosby Bridge and after. So, hey, we don't even need to get into it because honestly, I'm going to tear up. So, I'm trying to fucking drive us all home, and the water in my eyes would just be an inhibition of that. Let's put on some fucking music. You guys like the Police? 15 miles per hour on bridge, and then below it says, because that one guy died.
And of course, she takes it as a chance to be like, yeah, my fucking dad did it all. But what if the kids went to have like a KFC and then came back and died? Would they just outlaw chicken?
Yeah, you'd have to, right? What else are you going to blame it on? The driving? Listen to yourself. Sound fucking crazy.
Preacher's like, chicken makes your body feel a certain way, and we can't have that in this town.
The way her dad's dressed to be like, hey, Dad, are we eating breakfast, or are you trying to approve me for a small business loan? Fucking loosen up the tie. Jesus Christ. There's hash browns in front of you. That book, The American Baptist, like, just guess the title of an article written inside of that thing.
How sexually starved is the mother, too? Like, I haven't had sex in 20 fucking years, so...
Well, you know the problem? She's looking around the kitchen like, I have masturbated with half of the wooden spoons in this room right now. That's the problem with my marriage.
There's a hand of God slapping her across the face. Make her wise up a little.
That's just nature.
This is 84, Jeff. That would get him suspended, 4 weeks of church now in the current NFL?
I mean, yeah, he could probably appeal and get it down to like 3, but he would miss a solid 3 sermons. You're right, which is big.
Phones back then. There's no video evidence. It was he said, she said. Actually, he'd probably just get off scot-free, and they blame the woman.
But if it did hold up 3 sermon checks, I mean, that's a big deal.
It is a huge deal, especially. I mean, next week is Palm Sunday. That's the playoffs.
Oh God, I mean, a lot of incentives riding on that. I also think it might be a crime for women to have hair that goes below their neck. Because we had Dr. J. Now she's got it all clipped up.
Dr. J.
We had Dr. J or Starsky from Starsky and Hutch. She's like, well, I kind of like the length now, but it can't go below my neck. And the salon guy's like, I can perm the fuck out of it if you want. I could do that.
She let her hair down a little bit, wore some makeup, showed some skin. She'd be all right.
I think in her mind, she's doing all 3. Well, yeah, I mean, you can't have whores just like working every street corner. Jesus.
You know, the preacher's wife, I hear she's a whore. Like, well,
I heard that too. She's
a slut.
Yeah, but they had sex 2 times last week. Well, that cannot be allowed.
But they're married. I thought that was, no, she's a whore.
Slut, let's throw bottles at her. Bottles of, like, Canada Dry, obviously. We're not going to use alcohol.
A small town also, man, is like the worst because everyone they have nothing better to do at all. But they'll be like, oh, I've seen Steven hasn't been to church the last couple weeks. Why is that?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that
Steve,
that
you gotta
cake
start going to church. Preacher's been asking questions.
that cake social they just had with the over 70 and up club. Like, what do you think the fucking main topic of discussion at that was?
Like, oh, I'm glad the preacher realized I wasn't, going to church. But 3 weeks ago when I had my jet ski accident, he took his family to the Alps and didn't visit me once. So that's nice.
Hey, so
Glad he
this
realized.
chick's prescription lenses are so strong, it's like two electron microscopes in front of her eyeballs. Like, at some point, maybe let's say you're blind. Nice trucker hat. Heard you.
So, quota gas station scenes. What are we at now? 4 or 5?
This is at least five. And let me ask you another movie trope. Have you, and if you have seen this, please tell me, but have you ever seen in real life, because this only happens in movies, I feel like, where one guy like holds you and holds your arms and the other dude just punches the guy?
Yeah.
Does that ever happen in real life? No, right?
No. And
It's only
also, if you wear jeans, people wear belts.
fucking losers. When you have hips like his, that's what holds the pants up. The legs feed the wolf, Geiger.
So he's having a dance, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I'll be there." Like, my chick hasn't put out for like something about her period. So yeah, I think this is the exact great time to do this. Jeff just went to get a beer during the shower scene. Not gonna say anything. I just think he's masturbating. So for the two women that are watching this, and I know one of them is probably one of our wives, so the other one that doesn't know us, this is actually what happens in men's locker room. We will just talk to each other naked all the fucking time. It's not even that big a deal at all. And it's like the unwritten rule of the men's locker room. Like, you don't like make fun of a guy if they aren't stacked or anything like that. But we just sit around naked and just fucking talk about our fantasy teams and chicks. So this is another great iconic scene. Chris Penn is about to learn how to dance, but first, before you fucking dance, you got to learn rhythm.
Yeah, I mean you don't just walk on the driving range. You gotta fucking let's do some practice swings. Let's get our
Let's
club
learn
path
the
going.
grip and the stance before we start fucking just ripping 330 bombs down the fucking fairway.
Exactly.
You know what I
You walk before you run. I think Jesus actually said that.
Yeah, it's in the Bible somewhere.
Dude, you know what
Like,
seems like such a caveman invention, but the headphones that didn't go in your ear, it was just like a speaker that you set on the like everyone else could fucking hear that. You know what I'm saying?
God, if we back in '84, if we showed someone a fucking wireless Bluetooth speaker, you think they would just think we were fucking an alien?
It would be like in Ninja Turtles 3 when they think April O'Neil's a witch because she has a Walkman. That's what it would be like. Another thing too, I don't even get it with t-shirts. These guys are fucking rolling up the sleeves of t-shirts.
I mean, Jeff, you do arm curls, you kind of deserve to.
I guess that's true. We're not putting that time in the weight room just to fucking let this t-shirt go down below the top of my bicep. If you saw this on a football field, I mean, these guys would get their ass kicked, right? You can't be dancing like this on a football field.
I
Unless
love
you just
how
scored a touchdown.
wouldn't halfway through like, hey, I think we could get a lot more done if we just stayed in one spot and learn how to dance. Like, why do we have to do all these scene changes? Just Willard, you just don't worry about the directing and just follow me. I'm trying to teach you.
It's like, see, and that question right there is why I'm the teacher and you're the fucking student.
I mean,
okay?
I get it, man, but it's not like I'm, why are we dancing in a pool? Like, I can just,
It's like also
dance.
these places are like 15 miles apart. Like we're running up a lot of fucking gas doing this. Okay, well he's like, well, if you find another fucking high school football field that we can get on, be my guest. Like, yeah, okay, I found one. It's closer. I was asking that rhetorically.
What if halfway through he's like, hey, Ren, I kind of realize I'm good at football, and I think that can get me laid as good as dancing. So thanks for all your help, but I'm kind of.
So you think Division I sports are going to get chicks to sleep with you? Yeah, you know what? It was stupid. When I heard it out loud, when I heard it back, you're right. That's a dumb fucking idea. Let's do the dancing. Let's do that. And what is this?
Once again, why isn't he just doing this in his room? He's like, hey, I'm going to go to this playground 8 miles away and start learning how to dance.
Also, that looks like a tornado just fucking hit that house. Maybe those people could use your help, not fucking grooving.
There's like a kid behind, like, help me. It's like, hold on.
Habitat for Humanity is like, yeah, we've heard that you've been breakdancing instead of actually building the houses for the people that are without a home. So we're gonna have to ask you to leave. I've been doing both though.
Chris Penn is in good shape here, and not just for Chris Penn. I'm talking about for anybody. You think he watches this and is like, what the fuck happened? I'm like, a lot of meatball subs and probably heavy drinking. I don't know.
But then he probably gets the weird, like, you know what I need to get back into is dancing. Like I would say dieting and exercising, but I mean we could maybe throw dancing in as well.
So to back the whole thing, and obviously I know this better than probably most, but this is why it would suck to be a preacher, and I know a preacher, is some person would come to you like this, like, I read this book and it's about sexual pornography. I'm like, well, it's a book. Like, don't you think it's good for kids to learn how to read? It's like, well, yeah, well, we need to burn it. We need to burn it now. Like, you're pressured through the whole community to be a certain way all the fucking time, which would kind of suck, because a lot of people are basically just pulling off their whatever they think is right or wrong on you, because you are the judgment of right or wrong for that town.
Also, the thing I've never got is, dude, if you're so right, if your opinion is so right, then why does everyone need to shut the fuck up? Like, won't yours just make more sense to people if you're right?
And isn't it easier just to be like, hey, police your own kids. If you don't think it's a good book, don't let them read it. If certain parents do, then no, that ain't fucking right. It should just be burnt.
Dude, one of my favorite arguments people have is, well, what am I supposed to tell my kids? I don't know. They're your shitty kids.
Yeah.
You don't ask me how to parent any other time.
Oh, he's pissed.
Oh, he's not going to fucking...
I got off of work early to tell you you're a fucking whore.
You think I like yelling at you on the handicap ramp of the lacrosse field? I don't.
That? Yeah. Had vacation time built up. Doesn't matter.
Bridget, I'm so mad I started smoking menthols again. Oh my God, I had no idea. Yeah, that's how I've been in sick thoughts.
You like Ray McCormick, don't you? Is it because he's your same age? Is that why? I mean, part of it. I mean,
that's a little bit of the allure, but I think it became a bigger part once you said that. Like, I was like, oh shit, actually, yeah, that kind of does make sense. Oh!
God damn.
I treated you decent. I treated you average.
You like
average.
I treated you average. Like, why are you doing this to me?
On like a scale of 1 to 10, I treated you like a 5 point, probably 7 or 8. Nothing sucks, but she's like, fuck, I really wanted to bash this window out. I just didn't get enough behind it.
Dude, this is why you can't... If you have a nice car, you need to be nice to chicks, because they will fuck with your car, because they know that's the only really thing you care about.
The crazy thing about all this, so some people see them fighting. This is foreplay to me, you know? Maybe I've been in some fucked up relationships. I don't know.
There's just a quiet Tuesday night at Tyreek Hill's house. I don't know what everyone's fucking making a big deal about this shit.
This is when the chicken's been undercooked slightly. That's what this is. The house I grew up in, it's like, Jesus Christ, hold on a sec. You need some help? Yeah. This movie could never fly now, because obviously you cannot beat the shit out of
Valentine's Day. I don't know what you're talking about.
So he took it easy on her because it was their anniversary. He also let her get an iced tea at dinner. So is he that bad of a guy? You tell me.
And this is where Ren's contemplating, like, she's the hottest chick in the town, but she has a ton of baggage. Is this worth it? And then he looks at the second hottest. He's like, is worth it.
Ren's like, why am I aroused that you're bleeding? I think I might have some. Honestly,
I
might
have a pee problem.
Yeah, I probably need to pop open the hood on Ren and maybe move some wires around, because I got some sick thoughts.
Maybe you need to dance around that. No pun intended, of course. Or maybe there is some pun.
You know what? Fuck it. Pun intended. He said, I have no beef with him. Is he talking about the guy that just beat the shit out of his semi-girlfriend?
No, I think he's talking about her dad.
Oh, okay.
Not the guy that just beat the fuck out of his girlfriend.
He hasn't given me a reason not to trust him. She's like, well, he just fucking almost killed me. I don't know. I mean, hey, that sounds like something you guys got to figure out.
It is true though. If you meet somebody that maybe, if you're really religious, if you meet someone that likes Marilyn Manson and all this stuff, like they usually don't have a problem with you. You're like, cool, man. I don't really care. Just don't tell me what music to listen to and stuff. It's the people that try to pretend almighty as like more mightier than anybody that are trying to tell people how to live and stuff. Why can't we all just fucking live our own lives, man? And just fucking smoke weed every day and just rock out.
Every day.
Just have sex. Drive a Range Rover. Can't we all do that?
You should want those things, Brennan.
It's like, for some reason you look hot with blood on your face. She's like, thanks.
Well, that's kind of fucked up, but honestly, thank you. Like, I needed to hear that today. He's like, did you? Finally, the kiss happens. Jesus.
All time.
What a fucking prude, you know?
Said no one ever about her.
He's got to leave her wanting a little bit more, though. Let's not lock in too hard on those lips. That's your meal ticket, bro.
What do you think takes longer, Ren to make his eggs in the morning or to do his hair? Because that's like, it's not permed, but I think he uses like a straightening iron or something.
That's God-given, bro. Like, don't insult me. Again, he's got his fucking Ralph Lauren polo on. That's what he sleeps in. I mean, I respect it.
Honestly, Jeff, I think there's two kinds of men in this world that are married. One is the wife is sleeping beside him, looking at him while he's reading the Bible. The other is the wife is sleeping and the man's looking at her like, God, can you just wake up for a second so it won't be weird? That's the only two types of men in this world.
She's passed out, but she's like, but, if you want to have sex still, that's fine. It's like, no, I'm good. That's fine. Okay. Just thought I'd throw it out there. We've only been married 19
Her hair's
years, honey.
down now. She's like, you want to fool around? He's like, baby, I'd love to, but I'm right in the middle of this proverb.
So you want to have sex while you look like a Tijuana whore. Is that what you're saying? God, the rotary... Here's the problem with the rotary phone. Let's say a killer comes in to murder the shit out of you. You know how long it's going to take you to... 1 sec. Oh, God. Now the operator has to...
Maybe that's 811. Fuck.
You know what it was? When I did the 8, I was like, I think I did the 8, but I didn't. You're right.
It was dark and I was half asleep. I didn't know what was going on.
So how long ago did her brother die?
So she's in high school. I think she's a senior. I think it was her senior dance that they're about to throw. So I would say in a perfect world, was he 2-3 years older than her? So I would say it's pretty fresh, 2 or 3 years ago. Which, hey, man, I can understand. Like, I've never known what it's like to lose a kid or something. I'm sure that would drive you nuts. But I mean, after a while, when you're pawning, you gotta blame something. When something bad happens to you, you gotta blame something. I totally get that. It's whenever you're pawning the whole town into believing it, but then you kind of turn the whole town crazy where they want to burn books and not do this and not do that.
Can I say, like, one of the negative things of social media is the days of passing out flyers are gone forever. You know? Save the clock tower in Back to the Future, which I think we deleted that commentary. We'll redo it, but check that one out. But like shit like this, how cool would it be to walk in your high school and get a fucking flyer?
One of the greatest, and I still like cry out laughing. The first neighbors, whenever they go to Garfield, what is it? Dave Franco's like, is this ours? He's like, hell no. Who the hell makes flyers anymore? Like,
yeah,
like,
so fucking
they're passing out flyers to their parties. Like, no, dude, I didn't do that. Like, who makes flyers anymore?
Yeah, it's a dying. She does not look attractive now. I don't know. Is that a Bible? What is that?
So this is I mean, she used makeup all over her face except for her black eye, which is kind of weird. But this is my favorite part of this movie. Is when he's going to the town hall meeting to try to say why they should have this dance, and she shows him this part in the Bible. I'll tell you something. and everyone listening knows someone that is very religious, and they love to quote the Bible to you. Love it. But I'll tell
Well,
you
the parts
one
that
thing
help them.
but I'll
Yeah.
tell you one thing religious people cannot stand, and that is when you quote the Bible back to them on something that actually refers your point, because they fucking hate it. Because everything in the Bible only reverts to their life.
Oh, is it Denzel Washington's house from Remember the Titans? Am I
His house was
connect?
2 blocks down. He actually had a pretty quiet night that night. He was just watching game film.
This guy wakes up. I'm not bald. Look, there's hair on the side of my head. Also, who threw a brick through our window?
This says burn in hell. You know what that means?
Actually,
Yeah.
wait. There, it is a contraction. It says heal. So burning he will is what they're trying to say.
It also says Vikings +2. That is, there no way they'll cover.
The line moved down to 2. Well, shit. What kind of injuries are there that I don't know about? So his like sisters are almost dying because of this fucking dance. I don't know, man. To me, that seems like collateral damage.
You think our African American friends watch this movie? He's like, wow, big deal. Like he doesn't get along.
Oh, I feel real bad for you.
Yeah. Try to get a crossbird in your yard, or the police just arresting you because you're walking down the street and you fit a profile. Get the fuck out of here. Like, who cares?
Dude, you know shit has gone bad in a movie when they're like, I'll make up the couch. Like that, there's still people trying to kill us. But I'll make up the couch. It'll be fine.
I love Ren's shirt, too. He definitely went to the Western store in Oklahoma. Or Pasadena, California, where this is fucking filmed in, to get that shirt. I don't understand why he's sleeping on the couch, though, unless he doesn't have his own room. His little sister's room is the one that got the fucking brick thrown through. This is a great, this son to mother talk is always awesome. When the mom's like, so why is this dance so important to you? It's like, I don't know, you know, I've already banged Ariel, so it's not that. I thought it was, but, I mean, I like to bang her again, don't get me wrong, but I just kind of want to fucking do a revolution in this town before I fucking leave it in 2 months when I graduate and go to the city. And also got this killer new cassette I want to play. So the mom obviously is a little more enlightened because she lived in Chicago with Ren. So she knows how fucking stupid some small towns are and how small-minded they are. His mom's fucking badass, actually. She's a really cool mom.
She's chill as fuck, bro.
She's like, listen, Ren, I know you just want to get your dick wet and play your new cassette, but, you know, you cost me my job.
He's like, well, actually, stop listening after the part where you related to me, but thank you. Dude, town hall meetings, do these even exist anymore? Maybe in like really, really rural areas of the country.
Oh, they exist in small towns, trust me.
Wait, a dog license just went up from 350 to 440?
Yeah, a bunch of 50-year-old white and white males and females talking about diversity. It's fucking awesome.
That's Clark Kent to the left, obviously. Next up on the docket, some high schooler who apparently gets a lot of pussy would like to talk about a dance he's trying to organize.
And
Yes.
After that, we got the KKK and then stuff about hunting licenses.
Yeah, and then all it says is the South was fighting for states' rights. I'm not really sure what that about.
Goddamn right. Like,
you're right, and I cannot wait to have that floor. Thank you, Ton.
Tim, sit down, please.
Every week we're gonna do this, Tim. You can only sign up twice a month. I told you that.
Look at the town drunks like, God damn, I can't wait for, you know, this should be abolished. This is fucking great.
We're actually watching the movie now, but that's fine.
I love this part. This is such a great part. Because it teaches Christians that when you use the Bible against somebody, they could easily use it against you, which is like the greatest thing ever. Because I actually think the Bible's a great book, man. Don't get me wrong, but it's basically a collection of stories that help you and learning lessons to get through life and to see like, okay, these people that you look up through, how did they get through it? It could be interpreted a million different fucking ways, like a million
Yeah, but
different ways.
only really his is right, because it makes sense for
True.
his argument. He's really serious because he
And
actually pulled the tie
especially,
up.
and Jeff, this is the last thing I'm going to say about the Bible because this is not us, but you know how stuff's interpreted, how in the 80s, if you said something was cool, it meant awesome. But now if you're like, oh man, you're so fucking cool, you're really cool, it's almost like you're a douche. So if you wrote down blah 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 is cool in the 80s, I would read that and I'd be like, huh, that person must have been a huge douche. Like actually back in the 80s actually meant a good thing. I'm like, oh, well, I'm
Hmm.
confused. Here's Ray McCormick, man.
He's like, also, I'm sorry that I blow dried my hair 45 minutes too long before I came.
It's a little staticky, but whatever.
So I have split ends, right? We're all human. We all have flaws.
We
Anyway,
didn't have a
thing.
we didn't have a laundry dryer detergent. Anyway, I prepared a statement.
None of my towels were clean, and I have more respect than to use a dirty towel. I hope you guys can understand.
Prepared a statement. It was so awesome being inside you. If you decide to keep the baby,
Oh shit! Sorry, that's a draft. That's an email on my drafts. Hang on, let me find it.
Different thing entirely. It's not about your daughter or anything. All right.
Definitely not her. It wasn't about sex either. All right, here it is. Sorry, the dance. Sorry, I titled it the dance, which makes sense.
What did you entitle the other one?
Actually, that one was also the dance, which it's an art thing. It's a poetry, whatever. He's like, what is that? This is like this is like fucking Darth Maul getting killed with his own double-edged lightsaber. He's like, you son of a bitch.
It's basically the Force being used against you. It's basically the dark side saying something, and you use the dark side to prove a light side point.
Geiger, I hate to do this. This is like Bo Jackson. Or no, fucking Marcus Allen going to the fucking Chiefs. That's what this.
That's exactly what it is. Yes, it is.
Dude, that guy is so fucking bald. He's like Kevin, but he's trying to grow the chops. Do you see him? Well, you can't see him now. He's on screen.
It's so great. He's like, I know the fucking verse. God damn it. What if he just said that right then? You little shit.
You little shit.
It's such a great, because you're like, if you don't allow us our time to dance and celebrate graduating high school, you're basically going against the Bible, that's the only way to get people that are really religious to basically see your side, is you basically be like, you're going against the Bible.
But you act like this country was founded on some separation of church and state. I've never heard that. Is that even in the Constitution?
And also, if you don't let me fornicate wait, I gotta get married to her. Sorry, I didn't. I haven't read the whole chapter on that one.
Look, I'm willing to. We can meet in the middle. We can meet in the middle on this one.
I looked up the table of contents though. There's nothing about blowjobs. Is that cool?
Yeah, I didn't see that in there. I even looked at the index.
I'll do her too. I'll do her too.
I was gonna Google it, but that's not a thing yet.
You should just drop the Bible on the floor like a mic drop.
John Lithgow has a strong chin. That's a hell of a chin there.
I was just say, he hasn't aged bad. I mean, he didn't look. He looked young-ish there. I mean, he didn't have a full head of hair or anything. But I heard about your goddamn town hall fucking dance party.
Yeah, cool, man.
It's cool. Yeah, nice belt buckle.
I feel like you gotten it confused, but South was fighting for states' rights, right? Dude, I'm just trying to fucking shovel this sand, okay? Okay, well, you was about to be on break, so I figured I'd remind you. Also, I hope that wasn't your Red Bull in the fridge, because I drank. God damn, I labeled it even. I don't read too good.
This, I've never voted, but he would have a Make America Great hat again if this was made in 2019 for sure.
Where is he walking to? There's no parking lot over there. Those are railroad tracks.
Just walk into Mary's Diner across the railroad track down there to have a good breakfast and some pumpkin pie.
The Bible like has just words. Oh, practicing the sermon. This is getting a look at the secret sauce. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God, it's Kobe practicing his rapes. Like you can just get a look at the greatness.
This is basically Hard Knocks before Hard Knocks happened.
Dude, a Hard Knocks of like a pastor, that would be the greatest / worst thing to ever.
Does he get like cryo fucking feet, or does he have a? Did they basically say you got to use the New Testament? But he's
Yeah,
like,
and he's
no,
like, I'm not
I
using
want
that Bible. I'll retire if you make me use that Bible.
the Old Testament. Never got me CTE, so why the fuck would I use the New Testament? That makes no sense.
And then a clergyman from like a previous church comes out with sexual assault charges.
Exactly.
He's up here running shop. He's like, well, you get a little look under the hood, babe. Cool. It's so cool, Dad. It is cool. And one day this will be yours, except that you're a woman and thus need to stay in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant. But your brothers will have every opportunity afforded to them.
I will say the one reason I'm not extremely religious is just basically the pedestal it puts you on, and being a preacher, it magnifies that. And I get that everyone's a sinner, everyone sins. You know, everyone does.
I haven't sinned, but whatever.
But when you put yourself on that pedestal, and then sometimes, not every person in religion, but a lot of them will point fingers and be like, look at them, they don't come to church, look at how big a sin they are. But then once you it comes out that you cheat on your wife or whatever, it just magnifies it so much. It's like, oh, Mister goes to church all the fucking time, can't fucking keep it in his pants. Like, it's just it puts you under. It's kind of like what Baker Mayfield's doing now. If you just be quiet and just play the game, it's just an easier fucking road unless you want to just attack all the haters.
Well, her dad thought he had a fucking home court advantage here in the church, and now he's getting trick plays run on him. He doesn't like it.
We're over at the library. They're burning books. If this is remade today, they'd be like, "What? Is there an active shooter?" No, they're just burning books. Oh, well, call me if something else happens.
This town lives in a fucking bubble. Like, this shit is... What are they burning?
Books.
I know, but like, just any books?
Well, the ones that they think, like, if they talk about a tit or something, they're going to burn them.
Oh, yeah, you can't have that. Fuck, other ideas besides yours? There's no
But
way.
he's like, come on, don't. It's like, why is Curious George in here? Like, well, they had a female monkey in there. We don't. Like, okay, well,
One of them,
you
yeah.
all just need to go home.
And on one of them, George, in the background of one of them, there was what looked like, and again, could have been printed weird, but a Native American. Well, yeah, I mean, toss that one in. Fuck, I didn't. That one goes in the pile. Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So that one goes in the pile.
Lithgow's hair was just barely hanging on here, though.
You know, it's weird. He looks better like now in his old age, where he's like
he
kind
does
of
too.
Steered into baldness than he does here. I think this town made him bald because everyone in this fucking town has either no hairline or like one that they should not be holding on to.
What have you said? Yeah, Footloose made me bald with that daughter of mine, but that was just a fictive. Yeah, but she was crazy. So
well, I'm method. You guys know that, right? Okay.
So apparently, another fun fact is Bacon and Lori. I can't remember the actress's name. They're like just barely younger than Lithgow and the mom, like barely.
Really?
Yeah.
Lithgow has the look of someone who, like, ever since he was 28, he's looked 47.
But I could see Lithgow here being 29 or 30 and Bacon being like 26.
It's crazy. Lithgow is just so diversely talented. He can do comedy, he can do drama, he can do like slapstick comedy, which is, I think, a totally different version of like, he's Lord Farquaad at Shrek.
Yeah.
Who's fucking hilarious. He's like, God, I wish I had one more layer of sweater I could put on.
This is weird. Like, you're in my house, you're fucking my daughter. I hate your music, I hate everything about you. But it proves if they can come together maybe us in North Korea have a shot.
I see those negotiations going very similar to this one.
Pretty much. North Korea's like, I like classical music, and Trump's like, I like Quiet Riot. Like, really?
And
That
then North
shitty
Korea's
80s
like,
band? Yeah.
you can fuck my daughter, and we're like, who is that? And they're like, actually, China Taipei is our daughter. Okay, well, we will fuck them then. That's fine. And thank you, by the way. But see, and Geiger, you know this to be true. Now that she has her dad's approval, guaranteed she's less interested.
Yeah, she's just like, Ren, I just don't find you as attractive because my dad likes you, and now me and my dad are cool, and I think I'm lesbian. So.
He's like, well, I would need to see proof of that before I.
And actually be in the room.
Chris Penn looks like he just got off a 3-day bender. He's like, fuck, man, it's not going well.
In really small towns, though, man, it's the sheriff and it's the preacher that run that town. That's like the two. They run it.
And in really, really small towns, they're the same fucking guy.
Yeah. I'm the preacher in this 357 Magnum I'm carrying in my pocket. You can call it God.
My badge is the Bible, except when I'm a cop. Then it's just an actual fucking badge.
Yeah.
All right, we got 18 minutes.
There she looks like 38. Which is weird.
Yeah, she's aging in odd phases here. I think it's one more drink o'clock for this movie.
See, I can believe that the mother-daughter are close in age.
John Lithgow's wife is kind of hot in this scene.
It's weird. I don't.
She's got like a what's Marcia Gay Harden, but younger. But like she's got like a resting bitch face.
Trying to place the Amish porno I've watched that is getting me turned on by this, but I just don't remember watching it.
So the problem is there's too many to sift through in my head. To like, how could we ever stumble upon it again? You know, it was lightning in a bottle that day that we found that website.
It's like a Texas Rangers baseball fan. Like, which 162 games are you talking about?
Exactly. You need to be more specific. Game 47 at Oakland, Lance Lynn started. Yeah, I remember that. 5.2, 3 earned runs. Makes sense. Why he looks like absolute shit, Chris Penn. Like, what the? It's like, hey, can you just stop injecting heroin for like 40 minutes?
Like, literally, I found you out in a ditch today. Your dad's pissed, like, because I didn't come home. No, you were late to chores.
Oh, so he didn't say anything about me not coming home. Look, you guys got to work that out on your own, but you need to mow the backyard. Is all he told me to tell you. So I'm not going to butt my head in.
So you can have your dance.
See, but again, and I hate to be the dissenter here, but they probably don't want it now. Wasn't that kind of the whole point of it?
I think it was just the whole point was just, I mean, prom is fucking huge, man. I mean, prom's big. So they didn't have prom. You can't dance. You can't have music or anything. So that's what they wanted it for. And he was just like, hey, this is stupid. This is a small town. We need to have this. And then all the chicks were like, I want to dance and feel sexual.
Hey, before we go ride our dirt bikes, everyone real quick, put on your Sunday finest, and then let's tie a corduroy sweater over our shirt, all right, before we hop on the dirt bikes, and then let's get on the dirt bikes, okay?
How pissed is this town? Like, they should be at home reading their Bibles.
It's gone to shit, Matt, There's no Jesus here. Chris Penn, I think you can see him actually falling apart in the middle of filming this. Like, his life is spiraling out of control.
I don't really want to say this, but so in a small town, there's a lot of people that die in car wrecks because drinking and driving. But in this story, they weren't drinking. So, like, how bad a driver were you if you're not drinking?
I get that,
wreck like that.
But John Lithgow did say at the town hall meeting that alcohol and drugs often accompany those events. So he did at least
but not in that case. In his son's case, they didn't.
But that and maybe he, in hindsight, realized how irrational his argument was. But that was basically his argument at the town hall meeting. But you're right. If the problem is drugs and alcohol, then why not address those? Why are we banning a dance?
God,
Doesn't make
I feel
sense.
bad for this is gonna be Banner in like 10 years. Like you look nice. Like no, I look like shit. I'm like
He's
okay,
like,
well
oh, okay.
I'm just trying
Well,
to get
who's
you
the
out of the house so I can have like 10 minutes alone.
Banner's like, I need to watch 11 seasons of 6 different shows. So if you could go hang out tonight. She's like, but I'm only going to be gone for 2.5 hours. He's like, don't question my abilities.
No.
I'm your father, for Christ's sake.
Isn't the guy supposed to get her corsage?
Well, he's a fucking deadbeat, Matt. I mean, if what
This
do you
is
want us to?
Oklahoma. Never mind.
So you think so you can hear your own thoughts out loud. You think you can rely on a man? Is that what you think?
We should we should post this during Texas OU weekend. It definitely connects.
How about that?
A movie taking place in Oklahoma that was filmed in Pasadena, California, and Colorado. It's always great to pick up your prom date. Feel bad for women. They put way more time and effort into it than we do. We do our same hairstyle. We don't do makeup. We just wear a suit. That's all we fucking do. Sometimes we don't even get our hair cut. God. I love wearing a tux.
I know it really is kind of crazy how like dressing a certain way can just fucking gas you up. Like you just feel different.
I know.
Like when I put on the schoolgirl outfit, just some I don't know, I just become I digress. Her hair looks awful here though, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. She could have done a lot better.
Also, I think his tags are out of date, so that could be a problem.
I think he said that to her. He's like, man, I like that dress. I mean, your hair, would have been my first choice, but I guess we'll go with it.
Barney Stinson has a great quote. He's like, "The backhanded compliment will make a girl putty in your hands." And a girl, he goes on a date with a girl. He goes, "I love your glasses. They really draw the attention away from that whole nose situation." And then the whole rest of the date, she's like, "Fuck, I'm not good enough."
I love how every mom in the town like woke up at 4 a.m. to make cakes for this fucking thing. It's like, oh yeah, bring a cake. I'm sure no other mom's gonna make like chocolate and sweets for this. So
Well, imagine that fucking email thread about who's baking what. Jesus Christ. So what's the problem here? The music's too slow?
well, basically none of them have ever danced. So they're like, what are we supposed to do here?
Do whatever your body tells you to do. I don't know. Don't you make decisions. Let the music make the decisions.
This is where you're awkwardly in high school talking to the chicks like, man, I can't believe anyone's dancing, right? I mean, what up? What's up? She's like, yeah, I would like to dance. Yeah, me too. I mean, what's up with that? It's weird. Especially slow dancing is the easiest thing to do, man. But their whole life is like, if you dance, you're gonna go to hell. I mean, you could cheat on your wife and fish without a license, but just don't dance. Pretty simple, pretty simple life, really. Jeff, that mom's so hungry.
Good old corduroy on corduroy hug.
She's been so hungry the whole fucking like she's like, please just like have sex with me. I haven't had sex
This
in 28 years.
that corduroy on corduroy contact is the closest she's come to being penetrated probably since Nam, would you say? Since the conception of their daughter.
Well, to say, man, I think no matter how uptight you are, chicks do just want to like come home from work and be pressed up against a wall and made out with.
100%. This
100%.
movie this movie has a great reference. This movie has a couple phases. There's the gas station phase. Right now we're in the wearing really fancy clothes but also riding a dirt bike phase. And this guy's like, "Fuck, I remember high school." Like, "Do you?" Because it was like a decade and a half ago, but all right.
You want to know something about state championship? Like, we've heard this story 80. Like, I was 7. I watched the game when you played.
You were the backup safety. I played a little bit on special teams. That's a third of the fucking game. All right, Trevor. I want to be the guy that's just so fucking cool that all you do is go start fights with guys that went to your old high school. Because at this point, he didn't go to high school with any of them, but he's like, I know your older brother. He's 8 years older than me. Yeah, I know. He was 3 grades below me. Jesus Christ, and you're bullying me?
Yeah, the whole Fight Club thing isn't true. Whenever like, oh, you should go try to start a fight. It's actually harder than you think. If you go to a bar, like I tried that once and just got my ass kicked in the street. So
Yeah,
it's not as hard as it looked.
that is one of the bigger movie lies. Kevin Bacon, by the way, like, dude, he's looking way too dapper to do this shit. I hate it.
I
Those are
wouldn't
some
want
bad.
to fight. It's like this suit is a fucking rental, unlike your flannel that you bought.
Right, you think Men's Warehouse is just going to take this back, no questions asked? That was like a Booker T scissor kick almost.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Dude, there's nothing cooler, and by cooler I mean more illegal, than holding someone by the hair and punching them in the fucking face.
It's so great. Because the guy's just waiting for it. He's like, go ahead and do it, man. Because no one would ever say that, ever.
You're like,
"Dude,
who would be
please don't
begging?
fucking hit me in the face.
Right, I'd be like, dude, come on. Like, I'm out, basically. This is the iconic scene right here, too.
So great. Because everyone that's like, I don't know if I can dance at all. And then they're like, oh, okay.
I don't know if I have it in me. Then all of a sudden,
Is there any... Clark Kent.
those are prescription, Mary Beth.
I can't... Like,
God
I can't even
damn it.
see you now.
Yeah, a lot of things you wear might just be for cosmetics. I fucking need these. A doctor told me I need to wear these. This is the most douchey. Like, are we at a fucking Slipknot concert? What is this?
So you never chest bumped with your boys?
I have, but not in excess. I mean, I've always kept it under control. What was the glitter budget on this? 2.5 million? That chick just kissed him on the cheek. How's that going to go over? Or is that his girlfriend?
I love how he did the standing backflip too a couple seconds ago. Like that's I don't think that's a dance move. That's more of an acrobatic move.
I was going to say, can we make a differentiation? Doing a flip is not dancing. That doesn't make you a better dancer than me at all. Now, kudos to you that you can do that, but let's not get it twisted.
I love too how the people that are like, "Hey man, I don't want to dance. I've never danced before," and then the girlfriend's like, "Hey, let's dance now." Everyone's dancing. Like, yeah, but that's kind of like, you haven't worked out in 8 months, and it's like fucking Memorial Day weekend. Everyone's in the pool with fucking ripped abs, and they're all tan. Like, I don't feel like getting in the pool right now. I just don't think I want it.
But it's so nice out. I understand that. I don't have muscle definition. Is sort of where my issue lies.
This is one of the greatest 80s scenes ever. It's kind of corny now.
I mean,
Back
I'm
in
on a
the day, though,
commentary
man,
with
this
you,
was
and
the tits.
I was saying I kind of want to just tell you to fuck off right now and just get up and start dancing in my living room, which is what we're going for here. Nailed it.
Back in the day, this was Tom Hardy as Bane fucking going down the chain link thing to break Batman's back. Everyone was like, here's what we've been waiting for.
You think dancing is your ally? Dude, like...
You merely adopted that because it was just legalized a month ago. I was born with it.
My hips gyrated when I was only a child. Who's this guy? Get off the... Okay.
I did the Dougie when I was 2 years old, and by the time I was a man, it was nothing to me but stupid. Guys, great.
We need to do an episode where we go over most iconic, like our top 5 most iconic 80s scenes, because you could easily argue that 2 from Footloose are in there, right?
Well, and it's all dancing too, because the dancing scene in Breakfast Club, whenever they have the pastrami.
And Dirty Dancing, the scene where he lifts her up.
Dancing and karate was just a lot more cooler.
I would say, if you couldn't dance and or do karate in the 80s, I mean, just get the fuck out. How do we keep the glitter coming? That's what I'm really wondering.
This is when you're a dad and your kid's like 14, 15, and you're at a Thanksgiving and the older cousins are like, hey man, let him have a beer. It's like, yeah man, he can have a couple beers, since I'm here. And he's doing like beer bongs, and you're like, maybe this isn't his first beer. If you're in this town and dancing has been outlawed for like 7 years and you go to this dance, you're like, maybe they've been dancing like behind our back,
because there's no version of like a dancing batting cage where you just show up and like, look, I'm not dancing, but I'm just gonna fucking get some hacks in. That doesn't exist.
Dancing is definitely like golf or batting in the major leagues. It's a skill, not like you gotta harness it. And
well, if I was the preacher, what would really fucking chat my hide is to be like, this shit is choreographed. So I was lied to, because this takes hours and hours, and we have to meet up all together, or someone has like the track they're sending out, and there's no fucking emails now. Okay, another thing, by the way, it's ending, so great fucking movie, but the post-movie like credits showing scenes from the movie, where is that gone?
So 80s. But even the post-movie credits where you see the actors, and even if it's not in the movie, but they're just like laughing or something, but they're in character, that's weird too. Like, why?
Yeah, it's like borderline.
Sarah Jessica Parker's like third build here.
They must have known. Hey, buy low on Sarah Jessica Parker at the time.
Damn right.
84, this had to be one of her first movies.
It was one of the 84, that was one of the biggest movies in 84.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. Hocus Pocus is the first time she came into my consciousness, but also this movie came out basically 4 years before I was even alive. Don't hold that against me.
She was in some
pornos?
She was in some chick flicks before that, but
makes sense. All right, guys, that is Footloose. Geiger, last thoughts. I mean, dude, this movie fucking holds up, and I know we had some fun with it. I don't think this movie's stupid or dated, really. I mean, like, the concepts of it are, but this is a fucking fun time. Like, this is a great
It actually
movie.
won an Oscar too, Jeff. Best original song by Kenny Loggins.
Best movie ever made? Oh.
It's a time, yeah, and best movie ever fucking made. Fuck you. That was the category. Actually.
I saw Highlander. It's shit.
It's a timeless classic, man. You can still watch it today. They remade it. It doesn't hold up at all because it's just they tried to make it too modern stream. It definitely fits in the 80s. It's a great fucking movie. Very well acted, very well casted. And it's something like The Outsiders, where pretty much 80% of the cast not only made it out alive, this was like the catapult to their career.
Dude, which, like, if I'm a casting director from the 80s, I would fucking hang my hat on shit. Like, yeah, dude, look at the people I cast when they were nobodies and now they've all had huge careers. Like, you're like the scout that signs like a bunch of amateurs that end up being awesome. And to your point, Geiger, okay, you can honestly substitute dancing with whatever the fuck you want, but like the plot to this still makes total sense, and it always will, right? Like, there's always going to be that generational gap where our parents want to fucking take something away that they've just lost touch with, and the kids, there's like that 70s show is all based around the concept of like,
yeah, and especially in small towns today. I mean, small towns still are like this. They're still 20 years behind the cities. If you have a kid move in from the city who's also 10 years behind the older people, you got like a 50-year gap there. Makes for great controversy.
So we will end the same way we started, as we're about to put on our Sunday shoes and head out to the dance floor. For our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger, I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. We are the Bro4 Squad podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Please follow us on Twitter at Bro4 Squad. We're also on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. If you just type in Bro4 Squad, 3 separate words, you'll find all of our stuff on there. Check us out on bro4squad.com. That's obviously our website. We post all of our shit on there with our squad blog. And our Bro4 Squad Hall of Fame, which I think you guys might find interesting. Until next time, we will catch you out on the dance floor. Look for us. We'll be the one probably doing beer bongs in the corner with Chris Penn and then heading out and throwing up on you on the dance floor.